Check it out. I thought it'd be super cool today to get really hands-on and talk about how to get into the game of real estate without any money whatsoever. You see this house right here? What if I told you that I had a contract to buy this house with no money out of pocket and that I had someone to flip it to and make $150,000? How cool would that be? That would be crazy, crazy, dope cool, right? Well, guess what? Today we're gonna talk about bird dogging. We're gonna talk about how to basically get in the game of real estate with no money and freaking crush it like a baller.
One shot, now the future is yours. Go! I'm turning dreams into reality. Yeah, it's one shot, now the future is yours. Go!
So check it out. In the game of real estate, there's a couple of key players that make this whole thing work. A, you need a house, right? You need some real estate. B, you need someone who wants to sell that house at a really good deal, and you've got to find a way to find it. And then C, you've got to find someone that actually wants to buy that house. Now, if you can be the one orchestrating that, I found a good deal and I know who to give that good deal to, and because it's a good deal, I'm going to get paid some money. Well, guess what? I've just defined a bird dog. You're probably thinking that real estate is a game all about houses, right? It's all about property. And you'd be wrong. You see that right there? Guess who lives in that? A person. Turns out that real estate is really just a game about people. And think about it this way. A house is the largest commodity the average person will ever buy. And as such, it can make you the most money when you wheel and deal in the game. Now, this video is not about how to become a realtor that helps buy and sell houses for people that want them. Today's about becoming a bird dog, right? And let me give you a definition for bird dog here. In real estate, a bird dog is an individual who searches for underpriced and often distressed properties on behalf of real estate investors. A bird dog is paid when their leads result in a successful purchase. Or literally my bloodhound will go and fetch the dead animal that I just shot out of the sky, right? Like it's using that nose to sniff the deal. That's really what a bird dog is doing. It's a person that will support investors like me. And I got to tell you, just about every single day, someone hits me up and says, Chris, I got this really, really, really good deal. And guess what they're trying to do? They're trying to bird dog. They want to know if they can bring value to me in the form of a valuable property, if I'll include them in on the deal or give them some money. And this is a way to do the game without any of your own money. Okay, so Chris, if I do this whole bird dog thing, don't I have to have the money though to go and buy the property? And then don't I have to own it and then maybe resell it? No, you're thinking of a wholesaler. Check it out. A wholesaler becomes the property owner with the right to transfer the contract and then attempts to re-sign the contract to an end buyer for a higher price, keeping the difference as a profit. On the other hand, a bird dog doesn't keep the property for themselves. They turn around and pass on their fines to an investor, collecting a finder's fee for their efforts. And so, listen, being a bird dog and collecting a finder's fee is probably one of the easiest ways to play the game. You don't need to have a license. You don't need to have any money. It's a game with very little knowledge. All you have to become familiar with is, well, what are houses selling for? And if I call on enough of them, I'm going to get a good deal. And then I just have to have a way to get that to a group of investors. And at the end of this video, I will show you how.
Okay. Show me.
I got to tell you, there's one other reason why I love the bird dog game, and it's because of a low time investment. You see, as a bird dog, you can scout out properties in your car or on foot or online. Hunting for deals can take literally as little as 20 minutes a day. And when you actually collect, you could make $500 for an investor taking the deal off your hands. You could freaking make $10,000. Frankly, you could even make more than that. I think what's important about this strategy, though, is you have to ask yourself one question. Are you committed to being in the real estate investor game? If you're a subscriber on this channel, my guess is the answer is yes. And if you're going to be in that game, whether to find a deal for yourself, well, what about the deals you find that you're going to pass up because you have too many deals, or it's almost not just quite good enough of a deal, or you're too busy working on another deal? Well, anyone can be a bird dog. And because it doesn't require a license and because it takes such little time, all you have to do is get familiar with your area, and you got to get good at finding deals. That's it. I had already known that I wanted to become a real estate investor, but I didn't own any property yet. And I was following my mentor's advice. He said, Kris, get $5,000 in the bank. He says, work on establishing your credit, get a couple of credit cards, keep them paid off, but use them every single month. And he said, most importantly, you got to be at your job a little longer. You got to have that 2-year work history. So back then, that's exactly what I was doing. And one day, as I was driving home from work, I felt inspired to drive home a circuitous path. And immediately found myself on a road I didn't normally travel on. And right across the street, it was the weirdest thing because it was the month of May in Utah. And it was blue skies, a couple of white clouds, but it was snowing sideways. I was like, this is really bizarre weather. And right then out of the corner of my eye on the other side of the road, I found this for sale by owner sign. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's a sign, right? So I flipped my little 1993 red, Honda Civic around, had 250,000 miles on it, right? I was not exactly living it up. I was poor, I was deeply in debt, but I had a good feeling about this home. And they had the price listed on the sign, $110,000. Because I started getting used to the market, I had a feeling that seems off. That seems low. Most homes I see are selling for $150,000 or $180,000 or $220,000 or $250,000, but not $110,000. So I did the hardest, scariest thing. I decided to park my car, get out, and go knock on the door. I was so incredibly nervous. And the older woman that answered the door, she was grouchy because I made the dumbest mistake as a brand new investor. I started trying to negotiate the deal. I hadn't even seen the house. I didn't say like, hey, can I see your home? Can you tell me about it? Does it have bedrooms? Instead, I was like, I'd like to offer you $105,000 for your house. Like I asked for a $5,000 discount. That was my first move. And she said no, and she slammed the door on me. And then I rung the doorbell again and say, well, can I at least see the house? Well, I ended up getting the house under contract for her price, $110,000, and my mentor showed me that it was worth $150,000. I knew that I had found a really good deal. So I went to the bank. This was going to be the first house that I was going to buy, and there was a really good chance I wasn't going to be able to buy it. And so I was finding backup investors that I could give the deal to as a bird dog and let them take it off my hands and collect a $5,000 fee. But at the last moment, the bank came through, I closed on it, and that first house led to 4 years later becoming financially free with 25 homes producing a 6-figure residual income. But that would have been my first bird dog move. It's not all cupcakes and rainbows though. It's true. Some of the advantages of being a bird dog is yes, there's extra income, there's low risk, there's low commitment, you don't have to have capital, and you're gonna gain some great real estate experience. However, and the really big butt of it all, is that there's gonna be some inconsistent earnings, right? There's a learning curve. You're gonna throw yourself into a world that you feel like you don't necessarily understand. You might stumble, you might make some mistakes. If you're okay with a little bit of rejection, you're probably gonna do pretty well. And what I would say is that this game is completely worth playing, but in a moment, I'm gonna show you an upgraded version that takes a lot less time and a lot less effort, but makes you a lot more money. Check it out. You can bird dog houses. You can drive around, you can hunt online, you can go for a good deal. But you know what? I play a different game of bird dogging. It's called bird dogging investors. Remember, real estate is a people's game. So if you find people where real estate could provide a solution for them, then all of a sudden those people want to buy real estate because it's the other half of the equation. It's one thing to find a good deal, but the question is, can you find an investor that wants to get in the game? I found years ago that if I would just tell people, hey, you're putting money in a 401k, you're putting money in an IRA, do the math, 30 years from now, you're not going to have enough money for retirement. Maybe you have a paid off house, and all of a sudden I'd realize, man, people were really connecting with that message and they were freaking out because they saw the truth of it. And so I said, did you know that if you buy enough property that it can replace your job income like it has for me? And I started bird dogging humans. And the reality is the deals are out there, but if you can line up the people that want to do the deals, that's a game changer. So check it out. What I'm about to share with you is that you can go out there and find people that are looking to get in the game of real estate, but don't have the deals, right? And this is basically helping people figure out that they want to become investors, or maybe they already know, but they don't know where to find the good deals. What if I already had all the good deals? Well, then technically you as a bird dog of people and me as a bird dog of good deals could come together and partner up 50-50. Let me show you what it looks like. So check it out. I've got people all over the world that watch my YouTube videos and watch my other social media, and they say, Kris, I want to partner with you. And what that usually means is we're going to go into business 50-50. They're going to provide the capital to buy homes with the bank. I'm just going to supply the property, but do all the work and the heavy lifting and leverage my track record on over $1 billion worth of real estate, right? Over 6,000 single family deals that I've done. And normally they get 50% and I get 50%. But in the link below, you're going to learn about how you could actually become a professional bird dog of mine. And here's what happens. If you go out there and find people that are interested in investing in real estate, they're still going to get their 50%. But my 50% is going to be split equally with you. You as the bird dog and me for doing all the work on the property. And even to this day, I have people that are like, Kris, why on earth would you give up half of all the money you're making in real estate because someone else brought the partner to you? Well, it's simple. When I got started investing in real estate, my mentor showed me how to do it with no money down out of pocket. And I was buying real estate, not just getting paid a bird dog fee. This is like the advanced level up 10,000 times higher because I was learning how to buy real estate without any money. And I've now passed that on to you. And I have a ton of partners out there that this is how they grow their portfolio. This is what their next step looks like. And so for me, I have an abundance mindset that says if I can help enough people get what they want, it certainly comes back around because I'm on my way to becoming a billionaire. You can be a part of that journey. We might as well work together and help you become a multimillionaire. So check it out. I actually have one of my partners that figured out how to go onto LinkedIn knowing nobody and spend 20 minutes a day and basically take all the suggested people and then copy and paste some messages to them and basically find partners through this methodology. He's now bought a couple of dozen homes. He hasn't used his money on any one of them. Those strategies are out there and they're available to you. So if you're interested in learning about working together with me and helping use tools like LinkedIn or just maybe even people you know to introduce people to me as a possible real estate partner, there's a link below. You can learn about becoming one of my Mavericks. My Mavericks get to own real estate without putting any money down whatsoever. If you want to get into that and become my partner, 50-50 at an equal level, click the link below and learn about partnering with me. Let's crush it in real estate, especially right now. I get it. Sounds too good to be true. Kris Krohn, you're too good to be true. And you know what? Maybe you're right, but there's a lot of people that have made a lot of money saying otherwise. And the truth is we live in a pretty skeptical world. So a lot of people are like, man, that Kris Krohn dude, that guy's probably a scam. And you know what? Maybe I am. But if you're curious and want to know at least my take on it, you should click this video and take a look into all the details and all the dirty, rotten laundry and underwear on Is Kris Krohn a Scam? What do you actually get for that? Well, it's more than just a little bit about blah.